If sometimes you look around and you see no way of doing your idea, no time, no what, that idea could be from God, and the devil is trying to cover it up such that it doesn't help as many people as God intended it to help. Hello, my people, my family. I call you my friends because in Runyankore we have a saying that atakunzireta byevugo byawe. If someone doesn't like you, even the moment you appear, they take off. They don't want to see you. They don't want to hear your stories. So I call you friends here because you have been part of this family. And for you who is just going to join us today, maybe you had not subscribed, please, you're welcome to this home of digging out our uniqueness, where identity is key here, where believing in yourself, knowing that you are enough, knowing that your potential, the one you have, is just enough to take you to another level. So if you believe with us, join this home. Find a seat, find a corner, and stay with us. Today, I want to talk about our dreams, but the topic is how to know that your dream is from God. How to know that your dream is from God. And for me, when I was looking at this, I remembered growing up, some of the things I would be imagining. And I'm like, when I grow up, I know you want to hear my story, but you also have yours. What is that one thing that ever since you were young, you have been imagining, you have been thinking, I wish I could do this. I love people who do this. And you have a dream, you know you should be doing something. Maybe some of you have started on your dream. Maybe some of you haven't even started. Some of you are not sure. Is this a dream from God? Am I just thinking? So if you're like one of those people I've mentioned, then stay here. Let's see. How do you know that this dream is actually from God? How? And how do you even manage to carry it on confidently, knowing that this dream is from God? Number one thing that will remind you that let me do this dream because it is from God, it is because you are created differently. Never doubt yourself for the dream that God has put before you because you're created differently. You know my song that I like, it is on the pipeline. I like singing. So it is, this time I decided to practice some English since I paid school fees, but my songs mainly are Runyankore songs. But this one is in Psalms 139. It says, okay, a cappella. Oh Lord, you've searched me and you know me. You know when I sit, when I arise, you perceive my thoughts from afar. You know me. And when you continue in that Psalms chapter 139, verse 14, you will realize that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. God knows you. Every detail of your life, He knows it. And that's why He knit you together in your mother's womb, knowing that this Brian will achieve this much for me. This Dorcas will achieve this much for me. Will you be a good team player? That if God puts something in you, you are coming up and knowing that I am an expert at the message God has put in my heart. I am an expert at the assignment God has entrusted me with. Because you are indeed an expert. You're created differently. That's why you speak differently. In that big volume of your voice or the small volume of your voice. That's why you're tiny the way you are. That's why your color is like that. Your height is like that. That's why you're coming from that tribe. Because maybe He knows you will influence for Him that tribe better. Because you know them. You have been there. So If you are one of those people that sometimes sits behind and you think, this dream, it is in my heart, but I think the other person would have done it better, you're wrong. The dream is your dream because God created you knowing that you will actually do that thing you're thinking about all the time better. Number 2, that you should think about and remember that your dream is from God. It is because that one dream that keeps on coming to your imagination. If you dare dream like all the time, you're thinking, the idea comes again. You're walking anywhere, the idea comes again. When you see any scenario, the idea comes to you again. Even when you are alive, not sleeping, you will feel the ideas ringing in your mind. Don't treat it silently. Another person I was listening to one of these days said that when God gives you an idea, don't treat it like a joke. You better take it serious, because God is not actually a joker, he's serious. By the time he puts it in your heart, in your imagination, the glimpse that you have is actually enough to take you to another level. So if your imagination is constantly thinking about that one thing, just know that is the idea that is coming to you, and it is coming to you directly from the throne of God. Why should you really treat something that is coming from the throne of God with mere thinking and then you just drop it there? Better grab your imagination and run with it. Number 3, that shows that your idea is coming from God. It is if your dream, if your idea seems impossible. When I learned this, I even first laughed like I have repeated. When your idea seems impossible, that shows you it is coming from God. Wow. Because if it is just easy, just simple, you have figured it all out, then you will not need God in the equation. But when you think of your idea and you're like, oh, I wish, but how? That is the very one that is coming from God. Because then your faith grows even more as you think of, how will I practice this? How will I manage? Just know it is coming from God, because actually if you figured it out, you would have no reason to trust God. But for all the dreams you look at and you feel like, oh, Dorcas, how will you manage this? That is the idea that is coming from God, because God knows how to empower you better, the people to connect you with, the resources, where they will come from, the wisdom you need. He will connect you to the people that can empower you even better. Your faith will grow even more as you seek the Lord to ask him, I have this idea. It seems impossible. How will it ever happen? Please, God, enable me. The idea just ends up being the idea of God, because you will seek him for clarity. You will seek him for motivation. You will seek him for what next. That idea that you look at and it seems impossible, it is from God. And number 4, when your idea looks like it's never going to be possible. Here I'm speaking to some of the people who are a bit of age. You had your timetable. You knew, I'm going to do this at this age. Afterwards, I'll do this and this. But you also had a desire to sing. You also had a desire to start some organization. You also had a desire to do something, and now you think you are late. You think you can no longer do it. You think, I can no longer manage this. Most of us trade our deadline for God's timetable. God knows when you're going to do what, and for you, you're like, because I am late, I give up. Yet God still says, you can do it, my child. You can do it, my friend. So please, before you set your deadline and say, I can't manage this, still go to the Lord in prayer and do what you're supposed to be doing to find out how to pursue that idea. If it is the time that has been torturing you in the past, find ways of doing better by creating systems, by creating schedules, by following your timetable. Someone told me that what is scheduled is done. But otherwise, if you keep on saying, one day I will sing, that one day will not come. But get your calendar and say, on the 21st of March, I will go to the studio. It's scheduled, and so it will get done. So my dear, if sometimes you look around and you see no way of doing your idea, no time, no what, that idea could be from God, and the devil is trying to cover it up such that it doesn't help as many people as God intended it to help. And number 5, your idea is coming from God if not everyone is as enthusiastic as you are. And the problem here is that most people, when you get the idea, you have your dream, it is from God, and then you start telling everybody about it. People, they know how unserious you are. They have been seeing how you talk, how you dress. All of a sudden you come and you're like, you people, one of these days I'll be at Serena holding a conference and I'll be speaking on engagements. Like, I'll have speaking engagements like those people, like who? Manuela Molondo, the one who has come up one of these days. I'll be on platforms with Miriam Matembe and others. And people are like, kid, that's not. We know you. So people will not mind your dream like you are minding it. Someone also said that God has not necessarily told everybody about your future like he has told you. Our God keeps secrets because he knows people's hearts, some of them who will just push you down, step on your head. He keeps his secrets for you because he has told you. You are the one to do something, and then all of a sudden you start announcing. No, keep quiet. People will not be glad to receive your idea. So if everyone you tell is like, girl, keep quiet. We know you. You have been always like that. Just know it's the idea from the Lord, but know how to keep quiet and how to keep it. And in the same spirit, number 5, if your idea faces resistance. The devil came to steal, kill, and destroy. So don't think that the idea which is coming from God will just go all through successfully, no one touching it, no one opposing it. No, that will not be from God. Things from God, the devil is always on the corner, peeping, saying, this girl is almost living in her purpose. And all of a sudden, some things come to push you down, to pull you down, to tell you you will not manage. Just because the devil is already seeing a bigger picture. The end, he knows, this one is going to flourish, is going to influence many. And because of the many people I want to keep on my side, you better not practice that idea. So if you face a lot of resistance, just know your idea could be from God. Sometimes I hear stories of Pepsi Cola, how it all started, failing several times, how people went bankrupt several times before starting their successful businesses. How someone called Jack Ma on social media, you can easily find him out, rejected everywhere. They don't give you a job. Even when you qualify, they think you are not qualified anyway. They think you cannot do anything. Resistance. But I like Jack Ma. I like Jack Ma so much that even when he was rejected everywhere, every corner, still he was able to form Alibaba on his own, become the CEO. His boss started employing men, now assuming they gave him a job. Some problems are just to help us because many people now are being employed, several thousands. millions of people because he was rejected, but he believed in himself and kept on pushing. Now we are benefiting from the internet and from his company. And then lastly, if your idea, if your dream is in line with your day-to-day life, it sort of actually explains who you are. You know how most comedians have, do you know how most comedians have turned up to be comedians? Some of them, they even don't know that they are comedians, but every word they throw, people are laughing. So someone sits back and is like, first wait, I was just talking. How come people are just laughing by, like, over every statement I throw? And people finally discover and move on. I hope you know this comedian called Anne Kansime. And sometimes when she's telling you a story, you're like, are you now in a comedy? Are you just talking the story? Because everything she will be saying, it's very hilarious. So, what is one thing that is in your life that actually almost explains who you are? That's also how I started recording my songs. I have started, and when I start, I will not stop, I told you. That's how also I started this YouTube channel. Like, there is something people told me and it has helped me. So I want to help others. So I said I'm going to start. Then for the music, how come that when I'm going to the kitchen, I'm singing a song? Before I know it, a new word is dropping in my head, and then all of a sudden, I feel a song. Like, the song is over. So, okay, I'm going to sing for you. Songs that brings you close. Songs that bring you close to God. So, how about you? What is that one thing that almost explains who you are? How I pray that you will stand and live in your full potential. Use your skill, use your talent, because it is given to you by God and for a reason. Up to now, you haven't subscribed? I wonder what you're waiting for. Thank you for watching until the end. Until I see you or you see me next time. Bye. God bless you.